Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Prepare for takeoff.
You're now listening to Stepner Show.
Isabel Reyes, thank you for letting me come into your home. This is the first time I do a podcast as a house call. Thank you for having me.
Isn't that like the story of my life too? I'm always like, come to the garden, come to my web.
Exactly.
Yes.
I feel like, I've been working out of Happy House for a while, but this is like, a throwback to like Andy Warhol's The Factory, right? It's like, there's a lot of creativity that happens here.
Yeah. You know what the cool thing is though, for real? A lot of really great creative people have been through here.
Yes.
Like a lot of just like so many, just of all professionally creative or not professionally, people who, maybe have like a regular day job, but then are just creative individuals. I've always thought this house had its own energy. So.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of creativity, this is what the podcast that I do is about and how you balance a well-examined life using creativity. So here we are with lentes, glasses, and greñas in full creative regalia.
Glasses y greñas.
Glasses y greñas. That's the new podcast. Hashtag glasses y greñas.
What do you think of these glasses, though?
I think they play.
Right? I feel like... I don't know. I feel like they add a little layer of sophistication.
Absolutely.
Kind of give me a little timeless. I feel a part of my problem, I think, a lot of times is that I have like a young energy is what I've heard, right? But then sometimes people think that I'm young, so they try to like play me. And I'm like, bro, no, you can't play me.
Yeah, you definitely have a young, youthful spirit, so...
But now I got glasses, so people now know you can't play me. I know. That's why I kept the gray hair.
Right.
Because that way people are not like confused. No, I've got age here.
From a cosmic point of view, you go outside and there's trees that have been around for hundreds of years, and like we're young compared to like a blip of time. Yeah. With the rest of the planet.
I did this experience once. I don't know. I want to tell you exactly what it is right now, but there was this experience in which there were some drugs involved, and there was you like laid down and on this like pad that like would pulse, and you had these like headphones that were on that like played like some sort of frequencies or whatever, and then you had these like it's kind of like a VR headset, and it would pulse lights at different ways, but then you're on this like kind of drug. Anyway, the thing that after doing this experience, it was probably like 20 or 30 minutes, and I did it right out there in the garden. A friend came over, and he was like a tech guy that like knew about this technology and whatever, and was like, you want to try it? And I was like, yeah. And that was the first thing I felt. Like, you kind of feel yourself like leaving kind of your body like on earth, and then you realize just how teeny tiny you are, and simultaneously you feel like humongous, like you feel like in charge of your own world, like you're big in your own world,
right?
But in like the world we're like specks, you know what I mean? Just like such small. And at that moment I was like relieved of all this like responsibility. That was like a feeling I felt. Like I was like,
oh, that sounds amazing.
Oh my God, it was great. I realized at that point, that was probably one of my turning points actually in my life. I think it was like it just felt like I just all of a sudden was like, I think I might be tripping too much on things. I need to like have more fun with things. Right. I need to just have more fun with everything and just be fun.
Exactly. And that's why I wanted to get you on the podcast, because every time I'm with you, I have a lot of fun. But also when I'm with you, it feels like I'm the only person on the planet, right? Because your devotion to attention to human connection is uncanny. And your creativity levels for me are inspiring. And the first day I met you, you made homemade guacamole.
Oh my God, that was the first day. The guacamole was the first day.
The guacamole was the first day, and you were in these tube socks, and I had never met you before, never seen you in my life, and you greeted me as if we had known each other for so long, and the connection was immediate. And over the years, through mutual friends, we've stayed connected. But over the pandemic, just watching you spin, and the dedication and the discipline for you to spin and just rock on your turntables. That's what I want to talk about. You have a show coming up. Well, a tour. You have
a residency.
You have a residency.
I have a residency at the Shortstop for November.
That sounds amazing. I want a t-shirt.
I need to make t-shirts. I need to make t-shirts.
Totally. Marketing, right? A merch table.
God, I need to get on that.
And for me, what I find inspiring is when I'm around people that actually do what they say they're going to do and do without even announcing. But you take it to another level. You have consistency and discipline. What was it like for you to be streaming on the turntables during the Pan Dulce? And then you jump over to Twitch? Like, where did that come from?
You know what's so funny? Thanks for all that too. Because it's even like you saying it right now, even you saying like that I'm like committed or dedicated or, disciplined. Those aren't characteristics that I would use to describe me at all. Like, in fact, I almost want to, like, should we call my fucking mom right now and just let her know? Mom. I wouldn't use those characteristics to describe me at all, actually. It's fun. It's funny. I feel like I lack discipline maybe in a lot of ways. But maybe also it's because I hang out with a lot of people who have like a tremendous amount of discipline. Ooh. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, dang, compared to this dude, I got nothing, you know?
Right, of course.
I've said this kind of a few times and it resonates real. And I'm so proud of myself actually for doing it. Even just saying the words I'm proud of myself is something that probably would never happen before the pandemic, you know?
And just for the listeners listening now, is about you had a whole different life before this. Like, you worked in television and movies
forever
and entertainment.
Yeah.
And you don't have that life anymore. Now you're doing this.
I've tried to like walk away from that life like a few times, you know, and now I've stopped like walking away from anything. I've just now only going where I'm invited. You know what I mean? Like going where it's like good, where it's like, we talked about this even in the beginning of the summer, right? Where things are like a fertile, creative, lush, like feel good vibes and like, how can I be the best in this area? And then now, you know, but I was just so afraid of us disconnecting as a people, you know, and I am such a community person. Like you know, like the fact that you said I give you attention and I make you feel like you're the only person, like that matters a lot to me, because I want to feel like that when I'm with my friends. You know, so I want my friends to feel like that. And the fact that you feel like that with me makes me feel cool. Like, okay, I'm doing the right thing then, you know, that's an indicator to me, because I think you're super cool. So it's like, if that keeps you kicking it with me, then okay, then I got it. I'll keep doing that. That's easy, you know?
Yo, for sure. Because if I was in a coma and I opened my eyes and I looked at you, I feel like I would be related to you because of, oh my God, this woman looks like me. Glasses and greñas, you know? I know the greñas. Be like, I'm going to go over here. This is my clan. But like every time I turned on the information superhighway, there you were, spinning daily.
Yeah.
What was that pivot like? Like coming out of show business and going into...
So I was coming out of show business. I had actually just finished working right when the pandemic like started. I was finishing up Rhythm and Flow on Netflix. It was like that. It was a talent show with Cardi B, T.I., and Chance the Rapper. And I was casting that, and I was so pumped about that show. And I was really pumped about casting, which was like, that hadn't happened in years. I was so burnt out from casting. I was so burnt out by the jobs. I mean, right now with the strike happening and all that, it's like, I've slept under my desk. I've done all that stuff. I've been through it. You know, I've been working in entertainment for over 20 years. So right before the pandemic, I had trained with the Beat Junkies, and, you know, I had taken other lessons, and I was studying my whole life. I mean, honestly, I think about it, like most of my life, I've been like a DJ person. Like I love DJ culture. I like skate culture. I like tattoo culture. Like I liked, you know, like the people, you know, the community, like how we got together and entertained each other. Working on Rhythm and Flow, I was like, oh man, maybe this is it. It's like the combination of music and TV, right? Like this is where I'm supposed to be. And then the pandemic happened. No one was working. No one was doing anything. There were still like productions wanting to do stuff. But I didn't like any of the stuff. You know what I mean? I felt like priority should not have been on like, again, continuing to make stuff so people could just consume, right? I felt like a crazy push and a responsibility to connect the community, connect my community, to be connected to my community. And I knew I had a resource. I had, have a bunch of resources, but I knew how to DJ. I know how to, entertain. I've got I didn't know that I had a shitload of energy until the pandemic.
Yo, I think this is the only time I've seen you not move. Because every time I look at you, you're dancing, you're moving, you're lifting stuff, you're spinning.
I'm always like, I'm working.
Energizer bunny over here.
Yeah, I've heard that so many times, and I'm always like, I don't understand what that means. I kind of am now starting to understand what that means.
Right.
But I realize I have that resource, that I have energy, and I have all this stuff. And I was like, well, you know what I'll do is I will then DJ live. Like I'll just go on Instagram or Facebook. I started with Facebook at first, and then I did, Facebook Live, and then I did Instagram Live, and then they would kick me off or whatever. And then I was like, I'm going to do something more, like on the weekends I'll do Instagram Live, and I'll do a fundraiser. And that was really cool with Brujazi Brunch. But then I was like, but I'll just do Zoom for like anyone that wants. I'll share it, and anyone wants to come in my chat room and whatever, my Zoom, they'll just watch me play. And I would play for like 4 to 6 hours a day, every freaking day.
I know.
Can't even believe I say it now, and I'm like, holy shit! I don't know where. 4 to 6 hours a day every.
This was like your full-time job.
Yeah, 4 to 6 hours a day every day. Every day. And I used it, especially when I was on Zoom, I used that time, like a lot of times it's funny, it was like a lot of my friends in the Zoom, so you'd see them working and they just bopping their head or whatever, you know what I mean? Or somebody's cooking and, they'll every once in a while come into the screen, but they didn't interact with me as much, But yeah, I would just DJ for 4 to 6 hours a day, and I use that time to like practice and to try new things and to cue up my music and to organize my stuff, So it wasn't like, I'm a Virgo. So I wasn't like, I was just like, let me just fuck around on these turntables for a while. I was like organizing my shit. You know what I mean?
Totally. Because from my point of view, I was watching you take all the show business experience that you had, from producing to casting, and you created this brand for yourself.
Yeah.
And here we are.
It's crazy.
You're days away from your residency start at the shortstop. Mm-hmm. Where can people find details about that?
You follow me on Instagram. It's Instagram. I'm LA Bellatini everywhere. So LABELLATINI. Sometimes people call me LA Bellatina, and I don't understand where that comes from. But LA Bellatini. I'm there everywhere on Venmo and Cash App too. If you want to.
That's right. You could just keystrokes away if you want to contribute
to
this energy.
You want to enable this what I got going on.
Exactly.
Looking back, I mean, in the time I felt like I was trying to keep up with like a lot of the people. I mean, like Spinurita started around the same time. I mean, don't compare our numbers because she's like gnarly with it too, but she's amazing. But like, there are a lot of I got a few friends on Instagram, on Twitch that, maybe didn't want to. And I like to say I'm like a love bully. You know what I mean? Like I bully with love. I bully with a lot of things, but one thing for sure is love. And so I bullied a few friends that joined me on Twitch, and then we were able to like kind of play together. And now, I'm really, at the time, like I said, I felt like I was just like catching up and trying to be like, oh, let me try to like, get new emotes, or let me try to do this, or I need to try to like instigate a hype train. I did that for like a little bit, and then I was like, no, you know what? People really like that. I'm just like, and I say this all the time, I'm just like a girl playing music, drinking whiskey and smoking weed. You know what I mean?
What else could you want? And
I just wanted people to come in, and I really wanted the people that watched my stream or that were about me to really be about me, not about like what I'm putting together,
right.
The show or
exactly.
Look at my equipment. I didn't want any of that. I obviously don't have anything crazy special either. I mean, I have everything special here, but you know what I'm saying? Like, right. I didn't want it to be about like, look what I got going. Like, right. I got the best.
What I love about that, there's no bait and switch with you. There's like, what you see is what you get. It's like if I see you in a stream or if I see you in person, you're the same person.
Yeah, thank you. That's actually, it's work. I didn't realize it was going to be work to do that. That's where the inner work comes into it, right? I did a lot of inner work too during the pandemic. A lot of changes occurred in my life, as you know, during that time. So And not like the changes happened in that time. It's like I was more committed to making steps to make me and the people around me to be in a better place. I needed to be more authentic with who I was. You realize really, especially during the pandemic, you realize like what parts of you aren't authentic, right? Or what part is like, that's not really me. And like I was saying about the horror stories earlier, I had said forever, like, I don't really like horror stories. That's not my thing. That's not my thing.
Right.
One day I literally just like turned around and like looked at myself and I was like, why don't I do like horror stories. Why do I keep saying that when people ask me?
Right.
And it's like, you realize you could change your story at any time. And some stories you hang on to for no reason.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't like a certain candy bar because, I don't know, someone in the second grade said it tastes like poop or something. And you're like, well, I obviously hate that,
and then bullies.
Yeah. And then you find out like, oh shit, actually, I do like that candy bar. It's actually pretty good,
Oh, I do love chocolate though.
I think that's like, the authentic part is it's hard because then you have to, not only do you have to like really look at the parts that you're like, oh, I don't like this about myself. I don't really like that that's someone said that about me, and it's like, and it doesn't even really matter. You realize like, it doesn't matter. People can say whatever they want. If you're triggered by it, it's because there's something about it.
Right.
That is true. And you don't want that. And you fight with the person that's telling you that instead of fighting with yourself for being that.
Exactly.
Ugh.
Yo, life is rough and it's full of changes. And watching you work and evolve in this forum was very inspirational because it inspired me. One, it made me... If you weren't spinning, I wouldn't be here right now. Because I feel like just watching you spin... really made me feel connected to you, and it was inspirational because you were doing it and you were bringing joy to the world during a time of uncertainty, fear, and death, right?
Yeah.
And for you to do that just out of your own nobility and love for people, that to me is a beautiful human being. Right? So I was like, yo, let me get some of that mojo. Even if you put it in the mole.
You know I put that shit in my mole. I put it in everything.
Exactly. And, we have a lot of mutual friends. And, and just to be part of this world and all the friends that we have, what I really love about you and I, especially, is that we've never worked together in a day job situation. You and I have always lived in a personal realm, and to me, that's really special.
Well, not only have we always lived in a personal realm, I mean, it's always been personal, but I'm just going to smoke up at the joint after the fucking fire truck shows up and shit. God. No, but you know what else I really like about us is that there's like a pocket in which we cover.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's like these certain jokes, these like certain things, these certain accents.
Totally.
These certain, like, there's a certain pocket of jokes that we would like share with each other. And then that's kind of our relationship developed around this like pocket of stuff. Right.
And if we were surrounded by our mutual friends, maybe they wouldn't understand our inside jokes. Like, our jokes are so inside that they're like inside. They're like addict jokes. We have jokes from the addict.
Literally, people are just like, oh no, these bozos, I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, I wonder, because like I am curious, like if we hung out with like Raji or something.
Oh,
like
totally.
Like what? Because I don't even know what you guys are. I mean, I know what you guys are like together, but not like I know what you guys are like in like the work.
Right, of
friend
course.
Like
exactly. And just seeing you with Caitlyn for the first time, like I had heard so much about you through her, but I'd never seen you like I've never been in the same with you and Caitlyn. Like, to me, like, that was incredible.
Yeah, what was it? Tell me. I want to hear
it. I don't know what the word is in English, but in Spanish it was an aquelarre. It felt like an aquelarre. Mm-hmm. Like I'm sitting around the cauldron, with brujas, and we're just jamming up a storm, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like. And I really appreciate those moments because those are like the unplanned moments of life, right? That elixir, magic, pixie dust, right?
Oh my God. And that was dope too, me seeing Caitlyn. I hadn't seen her in like I think I may have seen her during the pandemic one time, but she is someone too who is like so...
good peeps.
God, her energy is amazing. So when you were like, let's walk over to her house, I was like, we're going. I didn't think we were going to be there for like 5 fucking hours, like the break of dawn.
It was one of those things that I knew I would see Caitlyn the next morning, and I told her that you were at my house. She would have been like, why didn't you call me? So I figured it was like the moment was now.
But see, that's what's so cool about you is that you really do. I don't want to. This is again. This might seem like I'm tooting my own horn because, but it's like you're definitely the son of a Virgo.
Yes.
And I'm a Virgo, and so it's like we Virgos are very like service oriented and thinking about others and making sure we're hosts. Where we could be a little extra, as you probably know.
Totally, we're super. We're like avocado. We're extra.
So like I think like you pick the fact that you were raised by a Virgo and like how like you really are mindful of how other relationships and Virgos like so I feel like I totally felt like you were like the sacrificial lamb that night. Like it was kind of like, okay, we're gonna go out to dinner, blah blah blah, and we'll spend time together, but you're like, and then I will just hand her off and I will just be an observer in this.
Which was great because it was an incredible experience because it was something I'd never witnessed, but I've heard so much about you through her, and I know you through me. So it was like interesting to see that, and then
I think it's
there.
dope that you guys were freaking even met outside of us. Like, like you guys met randomly because of Lola.
Exactly, because of the Frenchies.
Yeah, the dang Frenchies, and then Gia was there.
Totally
picking up on those women vibes, the lady vibes.
Exactly,
grown ass woman vibes. The poor Gia is literally going to go home and be like, people are going to talk to her and she'll be like, man, I don't have fucking time for none of your bullshit. Like, I've been hanging around with chicks who just don't give a fuck. Dude, I wish I would have like had that kind of, oh no, dude, if I would have had that and this energy at fucking 21.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'd be over for you losers.
Nobody would stand a chance.
Yeah, it'd be over.
Seeing you online and entertaining all of us while we're all working from home, you were here in your home just vibing, creating an experience for yourself and others. And as things started to progress, when did you really feel the pivot from I'm doing this just for fun, and then you hit attraction and things just take off?
Well, what's funny is I actually felt that before the pandemic. I felt like I was like, this is it for me. And I talked to Melody from the Beat Junkies. We had a talk one day, and I just randomly told them, I was like, man, I'm in this weird like zone. I'm thinking this might be actually my thing because I was making more money. At one point, I was making more money DJing than I was casting.
Wow.
Which was nuts for like a few hours. And of course, it's like a hustle, right? Like, I don't want to be fucking hustling at like 65. I don't want to be at the clubs. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll be something so dope. I'll be
Madonna.
Like, yeah, Giorgio, Mordo. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'll be like one of those people that I'll just show up and I'll get a check.
I actually remember watching you spin in person before the panorama started.
Yeah. before the pan dulce.
Before the pan dulce, and which was down the street. I had never seen you spin in person. So to see you spin in person La
Corona 69.
Exactly. It's like, La Chela. It's like, and then now it's like, you're doing both. You are spinning in person, but you're also still reaching a multitude of people through technology. And tell us about that relationship between technology and in person.
So the thing that is like crazy is that I started DJing. So I was trained by the Beat Junkies, and before I even finished, right out, like after like not even that long of training, I was asked to do like live shows, and one of my friends actually put me on. I had a residency at this wine club early in my training. I've been supported on so many levels from literally before I even knew I wanted to DJ. You know what I mean? Like, everyone has been doing this. I had this DJ station, this actual booth built for me like 5 years ago.
Oh, this is custom made?
Yeah, this is custom made. No, it's 8 years ago. I had this custom made for me because I've had 2 turntables and a mixer and vinyl for a long time. Yeah. So I had this like built for me. I remember I told Delaney, I was like, you know what I really want? I need a custom DJ setup. And the dude agreed. I don't know how he could have. Like, this was like 7 years ago.
Wow. Does this have wheels on it?
Has wheel, and I totally was like, and I'm gonna put wheels on it, like casters. Is that what they're called, casters or something?
That sounds
anyway,
good to me.
Yeah, so I put them on there, and then that way I could wheel it around. And then when we have parties, I'll be able to play music. Why in a million years did I think I was gonna be the one that did that? I don't know. I've always been the one that did the playlist, the music, and all this. That was always been my thing since I was a kid. I did mixtapes and whatever, but. Yeah, so like I'm almost like catching up with my own story sometimes. That's what it feels like, you know?
So one of the things that I hear a lot, especially from entertainment folk, is I do all this grind for other people's dreams, all these corporate American agendas, and then you get to a point where you say, you know what? I'm going to do it for me now. And it seems that you're at that point now.
Oh, man, yeah. So that happened. So I talked to Melody, and I was like, dude, what's going on? And he was like, that's so cool that you're thinking that way. But no one really had anything to say outside of that, you know? Then the pandemic happened, and all my residencies, all the stuff that I thought I had, I was like, well, shoot, they're all gone, obviously, because no one's going to bars, you know? But the last night, the night before everything was shut down, I got like, actually, this is like a difficult thing to confess. I got blackout drunk and was like, belligerent. I just was like, it was probably one of the only times I've ever been that fucked up. And I was like a mess. I was an asshole to Delaney. There's all these things that I like, you know, I don't remember any of it.
So
you know?
were like on the dark side of the moon.
Oh, I was all over that fucking dark side. You
went full Sith.
Yeah. Oh man, I had all of that. It was apparently it was supposedly pretty bad, you know. The next day I was just like, what? I did what? Like the whole time I was like, I am so fucking sorry. I don't even fucking know. And I think I now kind of have a belief that there was like my there was like, I kind of went full shutdown. Like, you know what I mean? I went full like.
Oh, you rebooted.
Yeah. I went like full, like it was like a total, like all the fucking anger, all the fucking anything I might have had, like. I think was just like, guess what? Not today. And it's just like fucking gone. Because then we shut down. Like that was that night, you know, the next day or whatever, everything shut down.
Friday the 13th.
And then that's when I started streaming. I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking have fun. That's when it started. That's when I was like, we're just going to have fun. And I'm just going to dance and I'm going to sing and I'm going to play music and I'm going to get better at DJing. And I'm going to just like, people are going to cook and they're going to want to watch me. You know, people are going to want tunes while they're listening, you know, while they're working or whatever. And I'm just going to do that. And so I wasn't thinking about the visual part. It wasn't until then I started going on like Zoom, like I said, Facebook, and I started focusing on that. Then I started having to be more cognizant of the visual, like people seeing me. And what made it easier for me was if I just was my fucking self. I know that sounds so fucking cheesy. But what made it easier for my brain and my mental health was like, well, I'm just going to be myself. And whoever is into that, that's what I want. And I started reading about alter egos. Like I love David Bowie, you know. And so I was kind of like reading about that and like how you could harness like some energy that maybe is not within you. But if like this alter ego might do it.
Oh, exactly. I have an alter ego named Wolfgang Odessa. And I go by Wolfgang on Wednesdays. And tonight is Wednesday.
Oh my God, today
Wolfgang! We're here, Wolfgang!
We got Wolfgang in the motherfucking building.
Exactly, you know, with my greñas. So,
New moon vibes.
So, the breakthrough. You know, that's the one thing I hear is that these rebirths, right? The rise of the phoenix, like, that's never pretty. It's like the word breakthrough, like, it's excruciating.
Man, painful. Super painful. I mean, God, so many changes. But it's like the changes that are happening in my life, like what I'm not even noticing, like the actual changes. Like it's like, okay, cool, I was with this guy, but now I'm not. Now I'm with this guy, but now I'm not with that guy. I'm with this guy or whatever, right? Like, sure, we can talk about it like that. Which is one way, but that's boring.
That's one point of view.
Yeah.
But the other point of view
But it's not about that. It's literally like I was with this and then I thought about this and then now I feel this way. Now my vibe is this.
Right. Where it's like, you were with this version of Isabel Reyes.
Yep.
And now
there's this
LA
version
is taken over.
Yeah. And now who is around this? Who wants to be around this? Hey. The other thing is too, things are so dark, like you said, right? Like death, you know, I mean, our government completely fucking pretty much was like, oh, you bozos really think we're gonna help you? Like, they laughed at us, right? And like it's been really messed up, and a lot of people have died, right?
Right.
And I feel all that, like, and I feel a responsibility, and so to offset some of, like, if I think about that, like, of course I think about that, but I already know how deeply I think about other people and how empathetic I am to just all the, you know, just all the loss and whatever. But because I know how deeply I think that way, I have to like balance it out by going hard a complete other way.
You get to a crossroads and you can either destroy or create. And the path of creation that you're taking is inspiring because it brings hope. Because while there's people dying, you were bringing music, creativity, and energy when there was none of that happening. Right? Yeah,
I didn't think about it all like that, but yeah, like that's yeah, I appreciate that.
Ta-da!
No, but you're right, because I think the thing is that, like, you know, and in being able to find my power and being like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking make lemonade out of fucking lemons, you know, all that stupid shit that you hear, right, that you're supposed to do.
But metaphors and cliches work because they're true, right?
Well, and then I started doing the whole, like, you know, then I really started being like, no, you know what, like, let's do it. Oh man, today I had a great set. Oh my God, I played 6 hours today. I feel exhausted, but I'm feeling good. Now I'm gonna spend the next 6 hours like pulling vinyl, and so I could play another vinyl set, or, you know, right. It kept like, I could feel myself just being propelled. Like, the momentum was like, I'm just on this crazy wave. I've been on a good wave for a while, and right now it's like an even crazier wave. And, right. You know, I mean, Junior Gilly the Answer didn't, like, I mean, he helped significantly.
I want to talk about that in a minute. But before we get to him, we were talking about changes, and I know that you were starting to stream through certain platforms from the metaverse, right?
Yep.
But then you pivoted to Twitch.
The metaverse.
You pivoted to Twitch. And how did that change your, like, going to Twitch? What was the impact for you in your path and your journey?
Twitch was scary for me when I first did it because, of course, I'm a Virgo, so I thought about everything being like, it needs to look a certain way. It needed to look perfect, but I couldn't, like, I was having a very difficult time articulating what, or really understanding what I needed. At first I thought, like, everyone's doing green screen, so I'm going to do that. And, but again, once I adopted the whole, like, okay, once I stopped thinking about everyone else and started thinking about myself and, like, just like, let me just create from within and then see who attaches to that. Once I started thinking from that perspective, things got a little easier, you know? And then I was able to focus on my craft, on the actual music and being able to, like, learn how to, you know, I didn't know how to use the, like, I had just gotten this S9, like, right when the pandemic started. And when I was streaming on Zoom and all that, I was using my controller. So then I wanted to use my S9, and I'm still like, what the fuck? I don't know how to use it. So there was
a learning curve, not just with the delivery of the technology, but the technology itself.
Oh my God, there's so many learning curves. I mean, I learned how to use OBS. I learned how to make, like, my own. I mean, Delaney helped me with a bunch of stuff, and Rod G helped me with a bunch of stuff too.
And Rod G's on Twitch too.
Rod G's fucking killing it on fucking Twitch.
Another guy who's got consistency and discipline.
I mean,
Shout out to Rod G.
He's got the Midas touch, though. I mean, but he's you know, he's better about it. He's a much more which is funny. You know, previous to all this, like, prior to all this, I would never, I mean, I've been in the creative industry for 20 plus years, but I wouldn't have necessarily been like, I'm an artist or I'm a creative. For sure, I'm a fucking artist. Like, there's I don't have any doubt. And it's crazy to me that at one point in my life, I didn't feel that way.
Yeah, you got the juice.
I got the juice. But, like, Rod G is, like, not only is he, like, a great artist and just, like, fucking just quick with everything all the time, he's so, like, he's like, he thinks about all the layers. Like, he really thinks, he breaks things down. Like, he's a good man. Like, he really is like, this is how it gets done. This is what I gotta do. This is the marketing part. This is I gotta pay attention to these numbers. I'm too artisty now. I think before, when I was more on the stiff, I would have, when I was my old version would have been like Rod G.
Right.
I went way artist,
Right.
you know?
Too right brain.
Yeah, I went way the other side, I think, and I recognize that. So right now, I'm currently in the process of trying to find the balance in the both because I do manage so much. You know, I'm able to
Right.
manage so much, and I can manage people. I've managed jobs. I've managed. So I don't want to lose that side of myself.
Right. So
You know.
Twitch takes off for you. Things do going well, and what was it like going back into spinning in person?
Oh my God. This has been the funnest part. So when we were in Twitch, so we got to Twitch, all of a sudden, like, you meet all these different people. You're meeting DJs from like Arizona, Ireland, the UK, everywhere. And just like that, you're connected with them. And you're like, hey, do you want to do like a raid train, which is like one DJs for an hour. And then like the next hour, then they like, all the people that are watching them, they raid another channel, and then you're watching them for an hour. So
wow.
the crowds could kind of build up, or, you know what I mean? If you are like, you might not know the DJ before you, and they have a whole different audience, but then now they're introduced to you, you know what I mean? And now, so your audience gets really big. Like my audience got pretty big. Like I have 2,000 followers on Twitch right now, which is, for me, I can't even believe I have 2,000 followers on Twitch. You know, I think that's really cool, you know?
And how often do you go on Twitch?
Right now, I'm only doing 2 times a week, but I'm going to try to come back. I'm in the process of figuring out, like, I want to do like a regular, I might do like a 10 a.m. Like kind of get it.
Morning drive.
Yeah. Like I kind of want to continue that. And that way I get it out of the way. I get up, I get prepped, I get ready, and then I get an hour of work in, you know, playing some music and some good vibes going. And then I ride that wave the whole day. Like it's because this is like a workout. So I could do this, then maybe work out and then do my job. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm thinking about do my job. I have like random jobs all the time.
Yo, tell me about Sans Pants.
My Sans Pants. But the Sans Pants party was funny because there got to a point, remember I was telling you how I was like tripping out on like, I want to make sure it looks like this, and my green screen looks like this, and I got to have all this and blah, blah, blah. And then I realized, who fucking cares? I can do whatever I want, you know? And I'm comfortable in my body. Like that's something I feel like it's an active revolution to be comfortable in your own body, especially as a woman. And so I am actively revolutionarying all the time. You know what I mean? I'm always like fighting somebody in my own head. So,
and for people who don't speak French, you know, Sans Pants is without pants.
Yeah, sans is like without.
Scene.
So
you're in your chonis.
I'm in my chonies the whole time, yeah. Damn. And so I'm comfy with that. And that was like the OG vibe because I'm like, dude, I play vinyl in my underwear in my house, like before there was a camera on me.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I'm comfortable enough doing it by myself, why can't I do it in front of a bunch of people? It's just weird logic, but
exactly, it's like method acting.
Yeah.
To another level.
And it pushed me again with the alter ego thing.
Yes.
It kind of made it to where it's like, okay, well, this version of myself does not give a shit.
And so now you're going back into the field, right? You're going back to spin in person. Mm-hmm. And are you still taking all the Twitch with you, or is it just exclusively?
So the part that's really cool about going out and live now, like, is that now, I feel like I've been recognized. I was recognized like a soccer game, an LAFC game.
Wow.
Yeah. Someone came up and was like, Bellatini, blah, blah, blah. That's totally Twitch. Now. I'm like, super C Twitch celebrity. Right, there you go. No, but like the thing that's really cool is that I will go out and about, and then all of a sudden someone will come up to me and say like, and they'll know me. They'll know that I was obsessed with Bobby Brown, through junior high and high school. They'll know that I smoke weed and drink whiskey. Like they'll offer me weed. Like, nice. You know what I mean? Like people that now kind of know me. And like, so I've been able to meet a lot of the people that I met on Twitch that I was able to talk to in the chats or just see.
So all these avatars are now showing up in real life.
Man, you see these people in real life. And the thing is, it's a trip because you don't know what they look like because they're just in your chat unless they're another DJ. Right? But if they're just like listeners or lurkers or whatever, Like
listeners and lurkers
come up to me
on Thursday night.
That should be a listen and lurkle. That hey, lurker. I'm gonna write that down. That's gonna be a new night.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think like like a lot of these people have seen me in my underwear, and now they see me in real life. And I hear that actually a lot when I'll go out. Like, I've heard that a few times. They're like, "Oh my god, how cool seeing you with pants on," or whatever, And it's always funny.
All right, so you have a residency coming up at Shortstop.
Yeah.
Ankle Park.
Yeah.
What can we expect from that?
So here's the deal. So my friend Marissa, she got the call to do the residency, and we are always like together. It feels like we've been asked to DJ together forever. We've done the Boom Bap Kids together, and we did all these things. And she's the coolest. And so she's a nurse, so she's like, I can't do this. So I hit them up, and they said yes. And so, I feel like I've been going to like a certain kind of party. So this is the one thing, like pre-pandemic, post-pandemic now. I've been part of like a certain part of parties, like a certain like group of parties, right? I've been dealing with, I've been talking to, I've been in with for a very long time. And then when Twitch happened, then like a different community developed, or it was had shown itself to me, you know what I mean? And I started meeting different people, and with just different talents and different kind of things that I kind of feel is more refreshing and is more fun and is less ego. Not that I am saying anyone has ego, but it's like the OG parties that I would go to as like a guest or a listener or whatever, you know what I mean, as a fan.
And now you're performing.
And now I'm performing, and now I'm like thinking about it, instead of being like, who do I want to go to as a fan? Who do I want to actually party with? Like, who do I want to play music with?
Right.
So this residency in November, these are like the people that I invited to DJ with me are the people who I want to play music with, who I want to party with, who I want to share the stage with, and who I want to just kind of like kick it. It's basically, again, I'm a selfish fucking asshole. I just want to party with my friends that I like.
And what are the dates of these shows?
So it's all the Sundays in November. And so we've got Prince Night, the first one, because, 7 and Prince 7, 7, So Prince Night's the first one with H-Dubs and Michelle Darling. And then the second one, I believe the 14th. Yeah, the 14th is with V-Fresh and Ricardo DJing, who is like, I met this dude when I used to do karaoke pre-pandemic. Wow. At the Redwood, and then we became friends over the years. He's one of the people I bullied into DJing with me on Twitch, and now he's going to be DJing with me at the Shortstop with my friend V-Fresh, and we're going to do like global bass, like, cumbias and like just dance, like,
nice.
Vibes, like Afrobeat vibes, like, anyway. And then the next weekend is going to be like feel good dance party vibes with DJ Saber, who's incredible, and Seeps, and Marissa. So that's going to be like a total, you'll get a cavity from that fucking dance party, because it's going to be so fucking sweet, and it's going to be so fucking fun, and it's just going to be just like all the feel good stuff. Yes. And, and it's going to be them just doing what they do and how they make people feel good. Seeps is awesome. Saber is like so dope. And, Marissa, dude, she's my homie, and I just love her so much. So I'm just, again, so pumped with her. And then OG Raji is going to come out.
That's right. For the final one.
Yeah,
right?
he's going to be the last one with Hella Breezy, my girl Hella Breezy.
Damn.
And it's going to be like oldies, lowrider, just like Chicano vibes. Like, it's going to be like backyard Sunday, because it's Sunday,
Yeah, in the heart of LA.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I wanted this residency to reflect, one, my range in like my love for music, because all the music they'll be playing, I'm going to just totally fucking love, because I play it. I love it. But I just wanted to, again, like, I wanted to invite the friends that I want to hang and play music with and drink with and dance with.
Nice.
So
it reminds me of when I first saw you spin Friends Over Followers.
Yeah, Friends Over. That was my other party I had.
Yeah. Congratulations on the residency. I'm excited. I'm definitely going to check out some of those shows. And for anybody, you should check out this show. I've never seen it before, so I'm excited to see it. LA Bellatini coming off of Twitch into the real world once again.
Here we are. We're back out here.
I want to jump into a little bonus round real quick because you were talking about managing people. Mm-hmm. Give the answer. Tell us what's going on there. We all want to know. This guy is a internet sensation.
It's so freaking cool. Like, it's so freaking cool. I love Junior so much. Like, so Junior, I met Junior at the gym. So I used to box. I was recruited to box at this charity bout for my friend's 40th birthday. And I was one of the crazy people who said, yeah, sure, I'll train to box and then get in the ring and fight someone. And that's another story for another day.
She's a producer, a DJ, and a boxer.
And a boxer. Don't mess with her. So I go to this gym and I meet this guy and he's just like wraps my hands. He doesn't say like 2 words. He's just like, I'm like, hey, I'm here. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Like I'm telling him my whole story. Oh, I'm just doing this charity thing and and he's just like, great, wraps my hands, is like doesn't give a shit. But you know, because I'm a weirdo obsessive, obviously, I was training at the gym 3 hours because I knew we had to fight in 3 months. And the girl that I was supposed to fight against, she was also like me, like never trained and was going to train for 3 months. But I was like, one thing I know I got is fucking grit. So I trained 6 days a week.
Damn.
It's like 3 hours a day. I started
chingazos in the ring.
Dude, man, it was the best. Yeah. Well, oh my God, I was so frustrated. My trainer didn't get me into the ring until like the I was training for 2 months, not in the ring, and then the last like 2 weeks until my fight, I was able to go in the ring, and I was like, "You're killing me, Larry." But he, you know, he's like old school trainer vibe. So he was kind of like, you're not ready. You know, I was basically doing the freaking Star Wars. I was like, I'm ready for this.
Oh, Hero's Journey.
Yeah. And he was like,
I've seen videos of you getting hit in the face.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've been punched in the face several times.
Bam.
A bunch of times.
Okay, superstar. So you meet this guy.
So I meet this guy. He's working in the gym. And he's just like this quiet, shy guy at the gym. And then he would always play music, and like in between, he would always just play music that I was into. It was, you know, a lot of funk, disco vibes, you know. And so he would play a lot of music and just always dance. And we would always kind of dance together. We thought it was funny, you know. He boxed also. So we, you know, Junior's punched me in the face plenty of times.
Wow.
And then I would invite him out. I'd be like, hey, I'm going dancing to this thing tonight. If you want to go, you're listening to the same music. Do you want to go? And he'd be like, oh yeah, sure, I'll go. And everyone was always like, oh, this guy is like the number one flake in the world. He never goes out anywhere. Never. Really? Never. And you know, so I would go out with him, and you know, the next day he'd be like, oh man, how cool, we did this or we did that, and people would be like, what the fuck? Like, why is this guy going out with you? Like, he never goes out with anybody. He never does anything. Like, what? And I had no idea. He just liked the music. Like, we would go to like Funky Soul. We'd go to Motown Mondays. Like, he didn't like the club stuff. So we bonded through music. Like, really. Then when the pandemic happened, my gym closed down, and that's where, you know, he lived at the gym. He was the gym, you know?
Right.
And the gym closed down. Our trainer and his wife moved to Costa Rica, who was like his like second family pretty much, you know. And you know, because we were all so close, I almost like adopted him, you know what I mean? He became like my guy. And so I have all this space. And so what would happen is when I was telling you I would be playing for 4 to 6 hours a day. Well, I would be playing and I'd open the window because we'd have to be apart.
Oh, that's right. During the social
distancing. So
during the 6 feet days.
So I would be playing for 4 to 6 hours a day, and he'd be right outside my window dancing for 4 to 6 hours a day.
This is incredible.
So he was out. So while I was playing, he'd be dancing, and so I'd sometimes go out to in the front, and I'd put my equipment out in the front door, and then he would dance in the front area. Neighbors would come by and they'd like give us a thumbs up, and they were really about it. But then he started really, really recording his videos and really like airing them and putting them up on his Instagram. And, you know, before the pandemic, he had like, I think he probably had like, I don't know, 50,000 followers or something. Like, you know, damn. I thought he had a good following before, you know.
Before the pandemic.
Before, oh yeah.
So he was already doing dancing videos before.
Yeah, oh yeah. He did he would do them in what he would call the lab, and it was the gym. Like he would invite friends over, they would take the mats out and they would dance. He did a ton of videos at the gym. But then when he started doing them here, I mean, it was crazy. Then he started getting a lot big, he started recording a lot of the stuff, like 4 to 6 hours. He had a shitload of content, and then he would just start now he's like, he records, he works out here. I joke that I joke with him that it's like the yard is essentially his room.
And you're managing him, right?
Oh yeah. And now I manage, then I started, I just asked him one day, I was like, do people ever hit you up for like this kind of stuff, like to do things? And he's like, oh yeah, all the time. I don't care about that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. I'll care about that stuff.
Your Virgo brain comes on.
I was like, no fucking way.
Your Virgo brain gets activated.
Yep. I was like, dude, I can handle all that. I've done this forever, right? I've been around talent and, so I know what this all looks like, and I know what people will say to get people, you know what I mean? I know how far to go. Junior is such a ball of pure fucking light and joy and love, and I do not want to see him. At one point he was like, I'll just drive for DoorDash or something, which no offense, it's fine, he could have done that, but I was like, you could do a lot more than DoorDash right now, man. And I think that's been my number one. He's one of my bigger priorities in my life, because I know that dude could have and will have the best life that he can't even imagine how dope his life. And I want to help him get that.
She's a producer, a DJ, a boxer, and an advocate for other artists. Oh my God. So you took your breakthrough, the rise of the Virgo Phoenix, and you rebranded yourself, and you created a whole opportunity for yourself, and now you're doing it again, but for someone else. Looking back, how does that feel for you?
When you say it like that, actually, it's like I said, it trips me out, because I'm so thinking about I need to be better about thinking about doing that kind of thing, reflecting like that, because I do think always even right now I'm like, I still got to do this, and am I doing the best job for Junior? I want to be able to really get a deck together. There's all these things I'm thinking, but again, I feel just grateful that I have the opportunity to work with someone and be friends with someone like Junior, I mean, I can't help but kind of be like, man, I must be pretty cool if he's cool with me, because he's way fucking cool, So a little bit of me is like that, because I think he's one of the coolest guys, and I'm friends with some of the coolest people. And
I feel like I met him once at your tamale party. Mm-hmm. And he seemed like a real shy guy. He didn't really say much.
Super introverted. So I've learned over the last couple of months, for sure, even with my friend Marissa and him, they talk, they hang out. I try to purposely organize events where we could all three of us be together,
right,
because I think they talk a lot, because they're very similar in some of the ways they think, know, because she could be very introverted too. And my friend Jericho, he's super introverted, and he always busts my chops, because I'm the one that forces him to go out. I'm the one that forces him to do stuff, But he loves it, obviously.
Right. But what I love about what he does is that even though he's shy and doesn't say much with his words, he says a lot with his body.
Well, and
you don't even need to understand vocabulary to experience the joy that he brings into your life through the portal of that's in your palm. And
he really he feels the music. That's when I play the music, I will sing a song, you feel it. So he really takes in the music, and he'll even his body movements will go to the verse, you know what I mean?
The beat.
Yeah, it's everything's so perfect, and he's just it's really awesome to see him just exist and go through the world, and like I said, I feel like I promised my coach and his wife and Jesse and Alex, I feel like I had they handed me a responsibility, it was kind of okay, you could. It was kind of like when Superman was like when Marlon Brando puts him. He's like, all right, you got. I felt like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I was like the person entrusted to kind of be like, all right, how could we keep shit real?
Right. So you're Martha Kent.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna keep shit real, and we're gonna keep shit cool, and we're gonna, you know what I mean. But we're gonna make sure you're also the maximum of your potential. Right.
I mean, DoorDash would be lucky to have him.
Totally.
But I feel that right now he could belong to the world.
Yeah, and I think like, again, we live in this world where we have to like fucking work to eat, right? So I would prefer for him. I think he does a greater good to all of us, to me specifically. He does me more good out here in my fucking yard, dancing his fucking ass off for 2 to 3 hours a fucking day while I'm doing my bullshit. Because I get to look out there and see him dance, and I feel great and motivated by that. You know what I mean? So that's way more beneficial than him delivering someone's hamburger.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I need to just come over here and bring my laptop and work from your home and just be here, because when I'm in your home, it feels like I'm at a shop. Like, I want to buy something. Like, yo, how much for this? Like, how much for this book? And, yo, you got PayPal, you got Venmo. Like, I can buy this. Where's this? Like, exit through the gift shop, It feels like this is a creative space. And I love that you were able to reinvent yourself and help someone else along the way. Because I feel like this is the kind of person I want to be around. Because this is the vibe that my brain really just lights up. But
you're like this though. That's the thing. Yeah, right? Like, you're like this.
Takes one to know one.
Yeah, it takes one to know one. Like, that's the beauty of all of this.
Exactly.
There's so many reasons why we shouldn't be kicking it, and not shouldn't be. You know what I mean?
Right,
but why we wouldn't be here, or what we could, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I think, like you said, like I said earlier, it's like, just if you just go where you're invited.
Exactly.
And you trust that, and you don't fight all the other stuff, and you just kind of let go of things.
Exactly.
I learned that in the pandemic for sure.
When I saw your post today and all these dates, and I was like, oh my God, she's got a whole lineup. She's got shows coming up, wear the t-shirts. Like, and when I saw this, and then I saw Rod share it, I felt that I had to be part of the conversation and echo it out into the world and be like, hey, this is happening. And during the pandemic, and even before the pandemic, the podcast became an instrument that I love and enjoyed. So I really appreciate you coming on, because I want to be able to help get your show, like, get people talking about it, get people to go. So I really thank you for like letting us come to your house and record this podcast and push LA Bellatini out into the world.
I'm just pumped that you're here. I mean, these podcasts are always so good too. They're always so entertaining. I love everyone that you always meet, that you always put on them. They're always so like cool. I'm like, damn, you know the best people.
Yo, there's a lot we could talk about, and I definitely want to pick your brain more. But I really wanted to focus on your residency on the show, your rebirth as an artist, and thank you for everything that you've done for the community and all of us people enjoying music.
Oh man. Thanks for receiving me.
Yes.
Thanks for receiving me in all my versions. And all my virgins. And all your virgins. And all my virgins.
And on that note, we're about to go eat some
tri-tip.
Some of your mojo brujeria.
Oh, I know.
Every time when you say tri-tip, I just want to say tripa. But it's not tripa, it's something else.
Maybe it is tripa.
But at least it's all going through the tripas.
Yeah, it's gonna go through the tripas for sure. For sure.
Oh my God! Anything else you'd like to say or like to add? Anything like, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram. You can find me everywhere. I'm on Instagram. I don't really do much on TikTok, but if you look me up, LA Bellatini, I'm on all over that. On Twitter too. Even though not very many people do Twitter, but you can find me live all over town. I go out a lot too. I like to visit my friends. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll kind of know more or less like what I'm into and what I like. And but if I could leave with anything, it's like, man, I honestly, I'm having a really great time.
Well, I'm grateful to be able to witness this and be part of this new journey, right? Because I feel this is the most time we've ever spent together. right?
Yeah.
We've had experiences, with our mutual friends that have been very difficult. We lost a friend who passed away.
Yep.
And so things like we've been bonded with real life experiences and real death experiences, right?
Yeah.
So we're on the heels of Dia de los Muertos. We're going into November. And I just want to thank you for everything that you're doing. You're very inspiring. I love you so much. And thank you for having us.
Thank
here.
you. Thank you. Keep doing this too. You're always so fun.
Oh, thank you.